of the most empowering and challenging years of my life. It's been a wild ride with a path that I've never thought and imagined. My life completely transformed through growth, new and old friendships, challenges, and traveling to places I've never imagined to see in 2019. It was a year of learned independence, self-discipline, and immersing myself with people who sculpted me into who I am today. So let's just start from the beginning. In the first month of 2019, January, my family and I flew to our favorite location to get away from all responsibilities. Just before 2018 wrapped up, my parents surprised us with a trip to Disney after my mom saw the abundance of enjoyment I had from going to Disney multiple times in 2018. There is something truly magical going to Disney with people you love and care about. Happy birthday to A few short weeks later, I celebrated my 19th birthday in my hometown with my family and boyfriend. My friend Carly surprised me on the day of my birthday by coming home and showing up at my doorstep. Thanks so much, girl. I was so excited to start my final year of becoming a teenager, but I was also so eager to learn more about myself and who I was before becoming the big 2-0. I was also blessed to share yet another Valentine's Day with my sweet boy, Zach. Plus, we had the opportunity to hang out in a cabin in the woods with Zach's family. We definitely deserved frostbite after riding four-wheelers around camp in below freezing weather for hours at a time. Such an enjoyable weekend. An activity I wanted to do much more of in 2019 was hiking. Two of my favorite locations I hiked this year were Hawk Rock and Onoco Falls. Hawk Rock, I will always say, has a special place in my heart. Each time I hike up to that mountain, I faced a new challenge in my life. Somehow I grow as an individual, or I use as a quick, harmless escape from reality. Onoco Falls was by far the most rejuvenating, breathtaking hike I've ever been on. Hiking to the breathtaking falls left me speechless. I hope to indulge myself in more hikes like Onoco in 2020. Moving on to the time I spent with one of my childhood friends, Parker. Parker flew out from California to Pennsylvania, where we ventured out to some of the most genuine spots in PA. I found myself forced to pick up my camera since Parker loves photography as much as I do. This was the beginning of fully immersing myself into the photography world. While Parker was here, I realized how beautiful PA can actually be after taking my hometown for granted for many years. Since then, I've counted my blessings truly and noticed how gorgeous the weather feels, how the sunsets would overtake the daytime sky, and how the trees turn back to unique shades of green after a long hyperthermic winter. Sometime after, I realized how powerful a small community can become. I ended up volunteering to be on a media team for a gardening project my church put together. I had the uplifting opportunity to be surrounded with the most genuine and admirable people. We ended up building 2 beautiful gardens for a local organization who fields the population of a town who can't afford a daily meal. Now looking back, it was such a gorgeous experience. Now moving on to summer, my absolute favorite time of the year. I started off with taking an overnight trip with my bestie girl, Kayla. This beach trip was much needed after working my booty off during this gap year and after Kayla's long year of college. Yes, we do have the same name. I always yearned spending time with my girl at the beach, soaking up the sun, the ocean, and her company. Thank you, Kayla, for continuing to be such an amazing friend since day one. I love you, girl. On top of this beach trip, I did as well go to the same beach with my family. This week-long vacation was by far the funniest vacation we have taken yet. I absolutely loved waking up every morning with the view of the sun and the smell of the Jersey Shore air. As a family, we also had the opportunity to go to Myrtle Beach, which was relaxing and rejuvenating. A few short days later, my mom, Grammy, and I packed my things to take a 10-hour road trip to Savannah, Georgia, to take a glimpse into where my great-grandma grew up. We ended up staying at this gorgeous house on a golf community property. I loved riding the golf cart around, especially the time I got stuck in the rain with my Grammy. This trip taught me how to cherish the smallest moments because they will always end up being the ones that you cherish for eternity. Something that was quite new for me in 2019 was the amount of concerts I attended and also spent my money on. The first concert being Blink-182 with two of Zach's brothers who I've grown close to in the past year. Such a fun and unpredictable night. And I ended up going to the Surfaces concert with my good friend Maddie. I ended up losing my hearing for 3 days straight, along with my voice, but it was definitely worth it for this concert. I didn't know that I had it in me to fangirl over one band that I listened to for 24/7. Lastly, I ended up at the last concert, which was Zac Brown Band. I've always dreamed of going to this concert with my dad after listening to them for countless years on repeat in the car. I ended the concerts with continuously singing Shoe Fly Pie, covered by Zac Brown Band with my dad, which eventually annoyed my friends and family. I ended my summer on a trip with Zach and his family in California. After the anticipation of the trip was here and I was on a plane to California, well, first Denver, Colorado, where we were at a layover for 9 hours, where Zach and I watched the season finale of The Bachelor. We were disappointed to see that Peter lost, but that's irrelevant. This trip was everything I could hope and dream of. Days at the beach, riding birds, to touristy stops, and then the abundance of memories. The end of August came where I started my first year of college. I learned quickly how to be proactive and how studying is actually really important. Later in October, I flew by myself for the first time to Tennessee to reunite with another childhood best friend after 10 years of not seeing each other.
How would you feel if I already booked a plane ticket to see you in Auburn?
Did you really?
Yeah.
I ended up falling in love with Tennessee along with Auburn University, where I can definitely picture myself at a later date attending. Seeing old friends always brings back the memories of ongoing play dates that lasted for hours and how simple life was back then. It always reminds me to slow down and enjoy all that I have right now. My boyfriend Zach accomplished earning his private pilot license, which I am beyond proud of him for. We took several trips this fall around PA, and also Zach flying me to school one day. I always enjoyed seeing him ecstatic to be in the air once again. There's something about seeing your state from above that just blows you away every single time. So yeah, it's been quite the wild ride. I stepped yet into another year of not expecting what it would turn out to be like, but it's becoming the most evident that every step unraveled the path I would follow for the next 12 months. Being 19 has taught me to love, to speak up, to enjoy company, to be genuine, to take nothing for granted, to believe in myself, and to ultimately giving me the freedom to whoever I want to be. This year I was burnt out at times, along with being stressed and overwhelmed. With always having a go schedule, I found the importance of setting boundaries and to take care of my mind, body, and soul to be able to live a wholesome life. I learned that friends can change with time and learned to work and push as hard as anything to get where I am today, and to push my limits daily to achieve my hopes and dreams. This year in review could not be completed without expressing my utmost gratitude. Seriously, thank you to each and every one of you who has watched and supported me along the way. To my friends who have been so compassionate and loving. To my boyfriend who continuously chooses me each and every day and to remind me to slow down and take a breather. To my family who has genuinely always been there for me. Especially to my parents who have pushed me and guided me through the downs and enjoyed the ups alongside me. I truly couldn't do it without them. Back in January, I could have never guessed where this year would have taken me, which excites me to no end to see how 2020 will unfold.